Welcome to another Wolfware review. I am Sam and I'm here with a game that I think everyone has heard about, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. This review will be more of a standard format from all the other recent reviews. As this isn't a collection or a console, this review has been repackaged. I'll do an overview of each element of the game that I think is important, its gameplay, graphics, sound, story, and a conclusionary statement. Occasionally I'll have a category for extra stuff, which is just me having more to say about these games. So let's get the show on the road. You are Geralt of Rivia, a witcher who has spent the last two games mostly without your memory. Having recently retrieved them, you are searching for a girl named Ciri, a girl you trained as a child and is like a daughter to you, who is also the holder of the Elder Blood, and the key to saving or ending the world. It's your job to save her from the Wild Hunt, and thusly, save the world. Let's start with something that without it, there would be no game. The gameplay. This game is an open-world RPG that has been executed perfectly. The combat feels tight, with every hit you land feeling incredibly satisfying, each successful parry feeling life-saving, and each successful dodge and roll feeling fluid. As a witcher, you have two swords, potions, bombs, a crossbow, and signs in your arsenal. Your swords, one silver and one steel, was still being used on humans and animals, and the silver one being used for all the other matter of mystical creatures you'll encounter. Speaking of all the enemies you encounter, each of them have their own weaknesses. Some may be susceptible to a certain bomb, and some may be susceptible to specific signs. That leads me to signs, which are a witcher's limited magical abilities. Simple spells that can create shields, bursts of flames, blasts of telekinetic energy, and damaging traps. The gameplay can be particularly punishing early on. Each hit destroys your health bar earlier in the game, but you can definitely feel your progression through the game as your skills become honed, and you stop falling victim to simple specters and packs of wolves. Part of the reason you'll stop dying so easily is due to potions. These can be brewed by Geralt by collecting particular ingredients and making the potions. Once these potions are made, they are in your inventory forever. They can only be used for a certain amount of time and are refilled upon meditating. I cannot stress how so very important these damn things are. Swallow, your healing potion, will save your ass more times than you can count. Thunderbolt will make it more easy to win battles clearly not stacked in your favor by giving you a damage boost. Oils are another addition to the gameplay that will also give you an edge. There are different oils for the different types of enemies in the game. Each one increases your damage by a certain percentage. As far as I know, they only last for a certain amount of time, but you aren't particularly going to be facing the same types of enemies for extended periods. Your bombs will be used on certain enemies, but I mostly just use them to destroy monster nests. Your crossbow may or may not come into play that much depending on how you choose to play the game. I just know that it only really came to use for me during the fights with the larger winged beasts of the world. Enough about combat. In this game you can either follow the quest markers and do the numerous story missions, side missions, and contracts, or you can explore the territories and do the numerous side objectives. These side objectives can range from abandoned camps, abandoned towns, monster nests, or just treasure, and can give you some pretty cool gear. The side missions can sometimes seem so gigantic as to feel like part of the main stories, and you never know, they may be. A good chunk of the side quests have some relation to supporting characters that will help you in the further story missions. Remember, like any recent good RPG, your choices have consequences. Be careful who you kill or save, because it may result in the death of someone important, or just more trouble in general for you. Graphics aren't a huge sticking point for me, but when something deserves appreciation, I give it. This game is pretty. Of all the games I've played in the past couple of years up to the point of the writing of this review, this is the best looking game. From the conversational cutscenes to the general world, it's all beautiful. It's one of the only games that I went out of my way to do side activities just to see the world in all of its varieties. From the swamps of Velen, to the narrow city streets of Novigrad, to the mountainous landscapes of Skellige. You certainly won't be straining your eyes to see something different. As a final note on the graphics, the facial expressions in this game make this game of fantastical quests a lot more human. Movement of characters is so well animated that it makes me feel the emotions that the characters are portraying. Everything sounds great. The clashing of swords, the burning of spells, and even the sounds of footsteps are very well done. The voice acting is incredible, with each performance being nothing short of perfection, not to mention the background and combat music being fantastic for the setting. Things may get a bit spoilery, so you may want to skip to this time to avoid that, if you care. This story is so amazing. The world is filled to the brim with backstory and conflict and strife. The personal story of your character has so many ups and downs that at a certain point you can feel them in the pit of your stomach. Even the side quests come to conclusions that come in many different fashions, from downright depressing, to happy, to morally ambiguous. For example, the side quest Family Matters could have been a game all of its own. The ending that I got for this quest left me heartbroken for all involved, and in the character of Geralt of Rivia, I made the decision that it was necessary for me to go on my own path for a little while, and take a breather from others' affairs for a moment. Here's where things may get spoilery. The part of the game where you finally find Ciri was one of the moments where the game's writing punched me in the gut. After the hours of countless quests that lead to clues as to where she went, after so many experiences that you have through her eyes, and after so much talk from Geralt of just wanting to find her, you find her in a lifeless state. This may be the only time in the game that you see Geralt heartbroken, and you feel it too, trust me. That's only really the halfway point of the game. This game is written so well and is so deep that I feel it has set the precedent for future fantasy and even sci-fi RPGs. In addition to all the amazing stuff already packed into this game disc, when you buy a new copy of the game you receive the soundtrack, a map, and this little note from CD Projekt Red giving you thanks for purchasing the game. They released 16 free DLCs for this game, ranging from alternate looks for the characters, to quests, to new finishing animations, and finally, a new game plus mode. This developer is awesome. While no developer is perfect, this one has so few issues that I think they are the closest. So, is this game worth it? In my eyes, yes. If you enjoy open world RPGs, if you like fantasy settings, if you like solid gameplay, if you like storytelling that makes you think, decisions that will force your hand and beautiful worlds to explore, this is a definite buy. This game, upon my second playthrough, plays like an exercise in good game design. It is damn near, if not perfect, at least for me. I hope for wonderful things from the expansions in the future, but in the meantime, I'll be in the Northern Realms, killing Strikas, griffins, and rock trolls. Hey, thanks for watching all the way through, I really appreciate it. If you like this review, watch our system review for the Nintendo GameCube, or listen to our opinion corner on Sony's future of gaming, or watch our West Wednesdays. If you want to see more content from us, hit that subscribe button and get your fill of our content on a semi-regular basis. Finally, if you have any suggestions for future reviews or any criticisms, leave them in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next Wolfware review.